Japan haul. Hi everyone, welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Ro. I'm an illustrator, mural artist and graphic designer. And today's video is actually from the past. I filmed it last summer, end of last summer. I had edited 80% of it before I took the unexpected hiatus from YouTube. And I just thought it was still worth posting. I'd already put so much time into it and I feel like the content is still relevant. I go through everything I got in Japan. I go through my sketchbook. It's a pretty chatty one. I take you on a trip down memory lane, which was nice to revisit for me and just remember all the good times. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I will be back very soon and I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, hello. I haven't talked to the camera. I haven't talked to anyone today, so I already feel rusty. Today we're gonna do a Japan haul, so everything that I got in Japan, and I'm also gonna go through my sketchbook with you with all the sketches that I did in Japan and also when I got back. I was just unpacking everything onto the desk and I was like, there is way less stuff than I thought. In my head, I bought so much more in Japan and now I'm like, I should have got so much more. We'll start with Muji and then we'll make our way down to the books. Obviously there's a Muji in Canada. I love Muji. There isn't one in the city that I live in, but there's one in Vancouver. The best thing about Muji in Japan is that it's in the convenience stores. I just bought things I actually really needed. I needed a pencil case and I like this one because I like the mesh material and then it has a big compartment and then it also has two little pockets. This is just an organization case. The idea is that it's for your tote bags. So there's two handles and you can hook that through a tote bag handle and then nothing has to be loose in your bag. I use it every single day. It has a larger compartment and I keep pens and some chargers in there. And then it has two smaller compartments and I keep other chargers in there. I have my Moft tripod. And then the larger compartment, I keep my notebook in. And so I have this with me every single day. And I just love that everything is in here. So the next few things that I got were from Itoya, which is this 12-story stationery store. It was very cool. There was just a floor dedicated to paper, to pens, to craft supplies, to paints. You name it. I got a washi tape. I thought I would get more. Ooh. But this one is so cute. It's a little grid layout. I also bought some pens. Oh, I got some pens from Muji. I got just a felt tip black pen from Muji. I love it for just drawing out quick sketches. I don't like doing that with a pencil. I like doing it with a thick pen. It just fills the space a bit more and things feel less daunting. Anyway, I love this pen. I think I bought a couple of these and then I also bought the classic ballpoint pen and I got it in 0.5 and I bought literally 8 of them or something like that. So those are some Muji pens that I got. And then I got these 3 other pens from Itoya. I got the Pentel Pullman in blue and I kind of regret getting blue. I just think I prefer drawing in black. I got blue because I wanted to be a bit more adventurous and not always draw in black in my sketchbook, but it's cool because it just kind of feels like a fountain pen. The nib is a bit more interesting. The other one I got is this Pilot Super, just in black. It's basically a felt tip pen. But yeah, I use it to draw a lot, and I like the thickness. And then this other one, which I actually rarely use, but I think I bought it because it reminded me of school. It's a B100 pen tool. It also kind of just looks like a felt tip, and I actually haven't really drawn with it much. The next thing I got was this notebook, and I actually needed this. We finished my notebook on my trip. I got the roll band. I like a wire binder. I like that it has a elastic, and it's also grid. And I like that the pages are kind of off yellow actually. So yeah, that's my notebook. I use it all the time, and it fits in my little Muji case. This was the most frivolous thing I bought. It was a Sakura oil pastel set. I basically just bought it for the packaging. I love vintage, or like when you go thrifting and you find old art supply packaging. The vintage ones just like, they look like this. They just have like a cool like pattern, and the colors are great. And I feel like it's rare you find that now. First of all, I love the yellow. I love that it looks like it could be like a screen printed design with like the imagery on there. And I just imagine myself in like 20 years time and just being so happy that I bought this like unique packaging. Okay, I thought I would buy more art on this trip, but that's okay. What I did get, which you saw in the previous vlog, are these 2 postcards, and they're a local artist in Yokohama. I got it from this bookstore that had like a lot of local artisans and art and stuff, and I love them. I want to get them framed together with like a nice matting. But these are 2 landmarks in Yokohama, which I thought is also cool. They have a massive Chinatown, and then this is also a cool building, which I did see, I just can't remember what it is now. Okay, finally the books. This is a book I got at the Ginza Graphic Gallery. They have like a little library, and they've just made a publication every time someone has exhibited. This was only $11 or $12. It is an illustrator called Makoto Wada. And yeah, I just like loved the illustration style. The little illustration on the front won me over. And it's just like a nice book of all his work. And then there's a little bit about him at the back. I was purposely looking for like more illustrators who, and like graphic artists, or artists in general, who were Japanese. So I picked this one up. And I think it's just like a really nice book for inspiration. I think it's cool that they just put something together each time they have a exhibitor with the person's work. The second book I bought, and I guess I didn't buy more because this is like actually quite heavy, and I ummed and ahed about getting this, like waited like a whole week because it's big, and I hadn't, basically just because it's big, and it's also all in Japanese, but I was so drawn to the illustrations and the work in this that I was like, I'll just read it via Google Translate, that's fine. I mean, like, also I don't need the words, but it's a whole book that's the work of Anze Mizumaru. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that word, but it's like his life's work. It includes like a lot of just his kind of sketchbook work, and then there's like his work in commercial spaces and on posters, and there's like graphic art in there, and it's just like a treasure trove of inspiration. So that's everything that I actually bought. I think the other thing that like made me feel like I had gotten more stuff is because there's so many little things that can be like memorabilia when you're traveling in Japan. There's so many cute tickets and like little notes and like illustrations on receipts and pamphlets and flyers. Like, it's all beautifully designed and like thoughtfully designed. It was just fun picking up all the little stuff. This is the ticket for the Snoopy Museum, and it's on this like really beautiful paper. It has like a cute stamp. The back has a comic. Part of our trip that I didn't film is we did the Hokan ropeway, and the ticket on the back has this just like really cute message that says, "Thank you for using the Hokan ropeway. Have a nice trip." And there's a little illustration and it's adorable. It was the last night. We really wanted to like find a nice bar to have a drink in, and we couldn't like really find anything. We were basically gave up. We were almost back at the hotel, and we like turned around this corner and there was this cute little bar. It was just one guy and it looked like it was his kitchen. It just looked like we were in his house, and there were records everywhere, and it was just like a little local spot. It didn't come up on Google or anything. You know, when you're just like, how like so stoked that that is like your last experience in like a country that you've just like had an amazing trip in. The bar was called Smiley Smile, and he let us take like 5 of these coasters. It's in the Bashamichi area in Yokohama. It was such a cool place, and this is like such a nice souvenir. Smiley Smile is such a funny name. I love it. This was at the Kyoto Museum of Craft and Design. This was just like, I don't even know what this was. This was maybe the ticket. How cute is the logo? I was like obsessed with this dog. So yeah, that is everything that I collected and bought in Japan. I really love everything that I picked out because I think I was pretty thoughtful about it all. And now I will show you my sketchbook. I bought my Nina Cosford sketchbook, which is like the only one I actually have. Okay, yeah, I've not really done a sketchbook tour before, but I will dive in. So this is the first spread I did. I started with this image, which I'll pop on the screen, and then I started filling in more places. As I was just like walking the streets of Japan, that was like one of my favorite things when we were traveling. I just loved walking around the neighborhoods and seeing all the shop fronts. I used the Muji pen, and I also used the Pilot pen, which is what I used mainly in the end for... Oh. Sorry, a truck just went by again. I use this pen a lot for the rest of the pages. I really love this part of the page. I think it really shows like the, I don't know what to say, like the randomness of the shop fronts. And there's a vending machine, which is like, you know, iconic in Japan. I love how it kind of all is connected. It just like is very Japan to me. This was it when I was in Yamashita Park, and I just like sat on a bench and drew this ship in front of me. And it was also the first time trying out this pen, which is the one I was talking about that's now blue. But this one I drew right after I went to the Snoopy Museum and I was having lunch, and I just drew it in the restaurant. And I loved seeing all the memorabilia and like franchise pieces from the Snoopy collection. This was like a pretty quick sketch I did. It was the last coffee shop before we got the train to the airport, and Adrian got this like pancake waffle thing, and the maple syrup was in this tiny little, and I think I wanted to draw it to capture that, but you can't really tell. Also, I loved the logo, and there were like really cute mugs that I also like wish I bought, and so I think I wanted to capture that. But But yeah, you know, just like a quick sketch of somewhere we ate. It's not the best drawing, but it's a memory. This was the view from our window in Yokohama, and I absolutely loved it. It was such an amazing view. I loved how much activity was happening. When you looked outside, there were multiple bridges, there was a cable car, there were these like high-rise buildings, there was a river, boats, cars, bikes, people. And so I really wanted to draw it, and it was fun just to like sit in the hotel and draw, like on a little break from wandering around, like when I had to recharge my phone. And I love how, you know, the people aren't really proportionate with the rest. I drew this when I was at the Cafe Kijimaya. This was in Yokohama again. I had like such a great time at this cafe. I feel like I really want to paint a picture for you guys. I'm gluten-free, and it's kind of hard to find gluten-free places in Japan, and there was this gluten-free specific restaurant that I was trying to get to for lunch. It was pouring with rain, and I got there and it just like happened to be closed, and so I was like trudging around this area, soaking wet, going into places, but they couldn't feed me. Across the road was this cafe, and it literally looked like a beacon of light, and it was this really old coffee shop. It was basically like a Japanese diner, and the only thing on the menu that I could have was ice cream. So I ordered an ice cream and a hot pot of tea, and like I already felt so much better. They were like only selling these sandwiches, and I just said like in my little Google Translate on my phone, could you make me an omelette because I'm gluten-free and I can't eat anything else? And so they did, and it was really, really kind of them. They made me this delicious cheese omelette, and I was just in heaven. And so I just had a really fun time drawing in here. I tried to draw some of the other customers in the cafe, and I don't know, it was just one of those moments when you're really, really grateful. People had been really kind to me. I had like found this comfortable like space from being in the rain. I was like, how am I in Japan? And they were playing like soft jazz, and it was pouring with rain outside, and I was like, this is not real life. And so that is the story behind this spread. These were two drawings I think I did when I was back home. I think the rest of them are. And I love these two. Again, I used the Pilot pen, the felt tip pen. This is actually a view of the cafe that I was just talking about. This one was like this really cute flower shop, and I think I just added in a person cycling because everyone's on their bikes in Japan, so you had to I had to capture that. I think these would make like good paintings or like big poster. These are the final pages. As you can see, it's not actually finished. I really love creating sort of like graphic art sketchbook pages and like setting things in boxes, and each box being like a little memory captured. And so this is just an amalgamation of like some of the restaurants that we ate in. And then this page spread, this was a bar we went to in Yokohama. It was like this tiny bar. Everything was like so dense and like piled high. Like there were different speakers and DVD players and musical instruments, and just like sliced up the image, and like each section has so much detail in it. And so I want to finish this with some imagery from Smiley Smile, and that will kind of capture the little nightlife experience we had. I love this format. So that's actually all the pages from my time in Japan. Okay, so that is the end of this vlog. I've just been filming for like a solid hour and a half, so there's a lot of chatting. If you made it all the way through, I hope you had fun. I hope that you maybe like got a little bit inspired by seeing, I don't know, some of the pieces that I picked up and some of my work in my sketchbook. It's actually nice to like go through the stuff and just remember all the memories that were made on the trip and yeah, share that with you guys. I hope that you are all smiling. Okay, bye.